In this episode, I'm on a very small day ticket water for 24 hours to try and nick a bite or two. Good morning, and you join me at a very local day ticket fishery, which I'm very guilty of very rarely visiting, and that's Twynersh in Chertsey. And I mean, we've filmed here before with Omar. There's loads of people done little films here. It's got 5 or 6 lakes on site, full of lovely, lovely carp, and we've got 24 hours ahead of us to try and catch a carp or two from the little lake that's just on the right as you come in the gate. I think it's still called the Match Lake, okay? I don't know what number it is, but it's called the Match Lake. So, spring is just around the corner now. Some tactics change, some don't, and this is a perfect little venue to show that, because I'm doing all different things on different rods. Now, we're lucky we've got this little corner to our left and the island in front of us, so there's no one here. There's absolutely no one here. There's a fella up about 4 pegs up there who's just doing the day, and there's a fella right over the other side, which ironically is where we wanted to go, but the best swims, as you know, on day tickets, I nearly always take them. But for convenience purposes, the vans are right behind us, and we've got access to 2 pegs here, actually, because there's no one there. But left rod, we've used the bushwhacker on all rods just for a little bit of subtleness, bit of quiet. I do love using this. In fact, the last time I used it was here on Lake 6, to be fair, when I was filming with Omar. It stayed in the carp caves since then, but it's now out on the grass. So we've got 18 lengths of bushwhacker stroke silent assassin, I like to call it, over to that little corner there, and I've done a half or 3/4 of an ice cream 14mm pop-up with 10 or 15 maggots it was on the top of it. But I walked round there, I had a little lead around first, because you're literally fishing under your rod tip from the far side where there's a big sign saying no fishing from that bank. I put in a big couple of 3 scoops of little bit of red maggot in it, ice cream crumb, ice cream pellet, and a little bit of sweet corn. That's gone literally, I'm talking a metre off the bank, so half a wrap. Yes, and that's the little white, there's a white pop-up over there, that's on the left rod, under the trees, as I say. Middle rod, we've seen a fish flopping itself around here. There's a tiny little bay, almost just around the corner of this island, but in there, and I can't go any further than where I am, because I'm literally on the corner, I don't know, a nice 20-pounder, 2 or 3 times come, right on it. So, to me, sensible. There's a little yellow ice cream pop-up there, with the same again, not a lot of bait in the scoop, because we just literally just fishing for a bite. So we've got a fair bit there with 3 scoops, 1 little scoop there in open water just off the corner and near a fish. So let's hope he finds his way around that corner and gets snaffled on my size 4 lock on my favourite. Yes. Ronnie rig. It just doesn't let me down, to be fair. And, you know, in carp fishing, we end up with, everyone says it, in their armoury, and it is true. I've carp fished a huge amount of years now, and you end up within your armoury stuff that you absolutely trust, and why wouldn't you? And for me, my little Ronnie, a few years ago, it was the flick rig, which was like a stiff hinge rig with a long shank hook, but the Ronnie is what it is. So that's the little yellow one on there. The right hand one, there's another little recess on the island here, and ironically, it's the one we're getting a few bleeps on, but I'm not sure of the head of silver fishing here, because on that one, again with the silent assassin, I've done 20 maggots on a bit of foam, which is, I love fishing like that this time of year, and coming out at this time of year, and a whole scoop of red maggots, a whole scoop of the silent assassin, metre off the island, and tipped her down. Now, the right one would be the easiest one to recast. The others aren't, because of the overhang. So from here on inwards, the right one I'm going to cast, I'll flick it out the lead. If we get a bite or not, we're going to keep on that area with that one. I'll clip it up, put a little bag out there, but then I'm going to make a few bags up, which is what I've done at Frimley this week, yesterday and the day before. A few little bags, keeping it quiet again, and just pinging out in the area. You know, I know the bushwhacker is quiet, but it's also a pain in the butt, putting 22 sections together for that bit, bending it round and all that stuff. So, yeah. We're going to keep it different then. Left and middle are going to be bushwhackered, silent assassin. That one's going to be cast with a little catapult, bit of crumb, and some little red maggot bags pinged out there, and we'll see what happens. We've only been fishing 45 minutes now. It took us quite a while to get settled on areas we want to fish and get set up, as you can see. Now, we'll give it a couple of hours with them rods in position, because we are getting a few liners on the maggot rod. If nothing's happened, who knows? We are going to be encamped here for the night. It is quite convenient with the vans, and I'm sure this will produce anyway. But within a couple of hours, I've never been wanting to sit on my laurels. Yes, there's a guy around there in what I would say is probably the one to be in, but there's pegs either side of that, and there's a couple of little bays. So a couple of hours' time, I don't like sitting around getting bored. We'll skip them in, probably leave 2 of them here. The barrow's there, bucket of solid bags, and we'll take 1 rod. And we're going to see if we can't buy a bite or 2. So till then, they'll stay in position. And you'll see me next, either holding a fish or when we're on the barrow. There you go. Right. The rods had only been in a couple of hours, and with this torrential rain and consistent rain, I found myself hiding in the bivvy, and this happened. Well, there you go. That didn't take long. It's about an hour. And the first rod we put in with the old silent assassin from under the tree over there is it's just pulled up tight. I'd like to say it whizzed off, but it didn't, because it can't, because the clutch was tight. It's just pulled up tight. And we've got what feels like, you know what, it might be a carp. Yeah, we've got a fish, mate, which is lovely. We were sitting there thinking we should have had a bite by now, because we've had movement over 2 of the rods. 20-pound fish. That is a 20-pounder. All day long, that is. White ice cream and 10 maggots. Don't go too close there, mate. All right. Yes. It's a nice 20-pounder, that one. Right. First rod that went in, I'm going to give him about 25 pound, that fish. That's the one on against the bank to the left here. Half a white pop-up, ice cream and 10 maggots. There you go, a couple of hours into the trip. We were going to move and have a little go around the other side with solid bags, but I don't know what we got to now. How about you for Twynersh? What a lovely fish. Fought his heart out. Yeah, nice 20 pounder. Let's get him back. Well, remember me saying we might have to move? Well, we ain't got to, have we? Because we just had a lovely, which I'm reckoning is about 25-pound fish. So what I've done now, as it's drawing in for the evening, I've just redone all 3 rods, exactly the same as what you saw me do earlier. So right hand one over there with maggots. I pinged a few more bags over there. The middle one's off that far bank. I haven't touched that at all. And we've readdressed the one that we had the fish on, obviously. So they're done for the night. Hopefully not. And we'll have a fish or 2 in the night, which means you'll see us in the night. And if not, we'll see you in the morning. Thank you.
Did we finish with this record?
Huh? We're done for the evening. Shall I take the big mic off? Or leave it just in case?
Just for the in case before it gets started.
I think we'll get one before dark.
Well, it's up, but that was
yeah. Now, we were just saying, it just feels we should get, if it's warmed up a little bit, feels like we should get a bite before dark. And I'm sure this is not by no means the size of the last one, but it's a carp. And literally, we had just said it. And there we are. I think you should come up now. Here we go. There we are. That is a beautiful little fish. Well, we had just said good night, and it might be a good night in the end. This lovely little one here, look at the scales on that. Now, it's often said, when that's going to be a big one, that's going to be a target. That is a beautiful, really dark, scatter-scaled mirror. Doesn't matter how small or how big he is, then they look like that. This is on the right-hand rod with the maggots. I'd only just pinged about another half a dozen bags on top of the area. Nice little trick, no disturbance. And then that rod just whipped round. We're laughing because I've literally just said, let's turn the mics off. We've had enough. He's getting a bit lively now, so we're popping back. But I'd literally just said to Omar, let's turn the mics off. Maybe order a takeaway. Oh, maybe order a takeaway. And this little beauty picked up the right-hand rod. Big ball of maggots, a little bit of foam. I'd say job done. Good night. Thank you.
Come on.
Well, literally just packing away. I've just had one on what you would call the middle rod on the ice cream pop-up, the yellow one that's been out there all night. And the maggot rod's whizzed off again. We were literally going to be out the gate in half an hour, so there you go, we've got 2 fish to show you. Well, we have in a minute. Got it nipped off in the end, there you go, big ball of maggots hanging out the bottom lip. A size 4 lock. Pucker. There we go, now we've got 2. Well, first things first, good morning, if you can call it that. You can probably see behind me there's no tackle left in the pegs, but first of all, it was a very quiet night. This morning, as I'm about to tell you in a minute, we had a burst of activity. It was bonkers for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but the night was quiet. We packed away relatively early because we knew this was coming and we just about got the gear. My OCD kicks in massive. Yes, I'm soaking wet and covered in mud down here, but my OCD meant everything in the van except that mat, the 2 nets, which are the only things that are wet. Now, so first things first, just on first light, the middle rod that had stayed there all night, the yellow ice cream pop-up, that popped off with a fish of about 17 pounds, almost a lever that one, and they do fight so hard in here. Kept him in the net for like half hour, bang, the other rod's gone. Literally, I was putting the bivvy away as this was all going on because we could see these black clouds coming in. But the maggot rod went again then, and we had a lovely little, almost fully scaled, like a double row linear, dark as anything. And even though they're small, they almost pull your arms off, these little fish. So what did I take from this trip? Well, I chose 3 different spots. Now, there's been, at the beginning, I said spring's coming, the fish are moving more now. So if it was a bigger lake, I might have gunned all them 3 rods on one spot. For me, this one was a no-brainer. I could use 6 rods in that peg and still have more spots to put fish on, to put baits on, should I say. So we chose 3 different rods, 3 different spots. The presentations were all the same. The Ronnie rig on a size 4 lock again. So we had a half a pop-up with maggot, yellow ice cream, 14mm, and maggot, all done bites. So chance your arm. Don't sit on one rod, one bait. No, you know, I hear this. It's only yellow pop-ups in here. Try loads of different things. You've got 3 rods, 3 spots. Give it a chance. If you don't chance it, you don't nick a bite. You know, we've done 24 hours and 4 nice carp. We've one going mid-20s. You know, it's a big fish. The fact is, we would have stayed another couple of hours, maybe got another 1 or 2, but 4 fish in 24 hours. Twynersh, thank you, Rich, and the guys that work here for looking after us yet again. It's an amazing fishery. We've looked, as you've seen, some amazing carp. We've chose Lake 2 because it gave us the best chance of a bite this time of year. You've got Lake 2, we chose the match lake just on the right as you come in the gate. Lake 2's just beyond it, a little bit more difficult, which we will be back to have a go on in the spring. Specie Lake, Lake 6 is exclusive, and Lake 7, I do believe it is right over the back. It's just about to open up. So Rich, again, thank you Twynersh. Get over here, catch yourself some lovely scaly carp.